There are many different ways to buy Bitcoin, but the cheapest and fastest way to buy Bitcoin with cash is with a coin flip Bitcoin ATM. Coin flip ATMs allow anyone to buy Bitcoin with the lowest fees and within just a few steps. Hi, I'm Amy, and I'm one of the hundreds of store owners who partner with CoinFlip. In this convenience store, we host a CoinFlip Bitcoin ATM. We earn passive income, more foot traffic, and we get free advertising done by the CoinFlip team. Getting the ATM was easy. We just contact the CoinFlip team at info@coinflip.tech, and they handle everything with no cost to the store owner. This includes installation, maintenance, marketing, and even 24/7 customer service. We just provide a small space within the store. To get your own CoinFlip Bitcoin ATM and join the monetary revolution, contact CoinFlip today. info@coinflip.tech or fill out the form at request.coinflip.tech. 773-800-0106.
Whether you're brand new to cryptocurrency or an expert, Hodl is the app for you. Are you tired of dealing with the exchanges, their unreliability, and high fees? Welcome to the new cryptocurrency standard. Hodl is your one-stop shop for accumulating cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. This is the easiest way for you to accumulate crypto and manage it. Download the Hodl app now. Create your profile, link one or more bank accounts, set up your dashboard, and let Hodl do the rest. It's easy and fast. Hodl provides multiple ways to purchase and accumulate crypto. Included are advanced automated buying features along with direct market buys. You have total control of your money and which cryptocurrencies get purchased, with options including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Tether, Ripple, among others. Use the Roundup feature to automatically purchase crypto with your spare change after making everyday purchases. Easily increase your Roundup growth by using the Boost Growth option and boost your Roundups by either 2, 3, or 5 times. The Autopilot feature allows you to purchase crypto based on the amount and frequency you choose. Set it and forget it. Buy and sell in real time. The coins you buy are the coins you get. Hodl holds 100% true blockchain purchases. No downtime. Super secure. Lower fees, and you get 24/7 support. Hodl makes it easy for you to create and manage a diversified cryptocurrency portfolio. Look forward to future enhancements coming soon, as well as additional cryptocurrency options. Download the Hodl app today and get started now.
And we're live, bros. Is this thing on?
Good afternoon.
All right. Hey, how goes it? If you guys are watching this right now live, don't forget like and comment. Every day somebody wins $10 worth of USDT. That's from FIO. If you already have a FIO account and you use Edge Wallet, request $10 in USDT from FIO at KENN. Every single day, somebody wins. Every 24 hours, one of you gets picked. All you have to do is like, comment, request the $10 from FIO at Edge. And as always, I'm with my two bros. How goes it? I'm with Emilio and EndPop. Dude, I wanted to go ahead and last time me and EndPop tried to do this, my internet was in like a solar flare hotspot zone where my internet just was not working. So, EndPop, if you don't mind, please give us that beautiful intro you gave us previously, and then we will let Emilio say his how goes it's.
I don't even remember what the intro was.
It was so good. I'm sorry. I'm just making them. I'm making all them wish they were there for it.
All I remember is we talked about the beanie, so I wore it again just so that we would have the beanie again. My Domo beanie is on, so which is the one that when I'm out in the street, people actually offer me money for all the time.
Right, like, because it was the 7-Eleven beanie.
The 7-Eleven deal, yes. Which I got from a friend of mine. And he gave it to me and he's like, it looks good on you, man. All right, I'm going to let you keep it. He had no idea that it was going to like stop being made. And now it's like every time I'm out with it, someone's like, oh my God, I'll give you $200 for that.
Those are the same motherfuckers that wouldn't buy a $200 Bitcoin when they seen it, but they'll give you $200 for
that would have been me. That would have been me. That was my sad tale. Remember, I was telling you I was like the late adopter, but I may have a hard drive that has old Bitcoin on it.
I could see you in 20 years prospecting, looking for it.
Oh my God, dude. 2010. Just think about it.
I don't want it. It hurts. It hurts for you.
It hurts, dude. It totally hurts. I think, like, what if I had done it? Like, I think I did the math. It would have been like $8 million.
It'll eventually get to a point, right? And check this out, because I think Emilio could vibe on this. People will start third-party businesses where they will sign a contract with you to get maybe 70% of the findings, but they will investigate and interrogate you about everything around that day, that scenario. And they'll trace your life down to the T using, like, the NSA API that's out there for this company. Because, it's possible. Like, NSA, they could find your private keys. All they'd have to do is type in EndPop private key. What was the date? Done. Oh, yeah, we found it. It's right here.
Yeah, 50% tax, but here's your $4 million. Right. I'll be happy.
I feel like eventually those services will come out, man. What do you think, Emilio?
Oh, man, I have a story from everybody that has a hard drive of lost information.
Go for it, because there's a lot of them out there, man.
Everybody's got a hard drive with lost information, but they're still holding it. I have myself personally.
Yeah, I mean, and we're talking not just private keys here, folks. It could be baby pictures or certificates and deeds to property that you digitized and were backing up for, when a flood occurred and did damage the physical paperwork. Also lost the digital copy. It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
That's why I write down my shit, man. You got to write it down.
You got to remember it. You got to remember it, bro. 24 words, 12 words. It ain't that hard to come up with a rap in your head to come up with a way to remember it.
So many wallets, man. Holy cow, dude, if you do crypto properly, you need a bit of wallets.
That's true. But I mean, like I said, with a couple of those words, how many artists out there, EndPop coming from that space, do you think may have Easter egged some of their hit songs with like certain words that if you type them in right, could give you access to a private key? Like that would be pretty cool, because who was it? Like Cardi B was in the shitcoins for a while and stuff, right? And so were a couple of, DJ Khaled or whatever. He got in trouble for promoting something, but maybe there's some private key Easter eggs out there, because that was how they were trying to remember their own seed phrase.
Imagine you just are going to the Cardi B discography and you're like, maybe this one, maybe that word, maybe that, and then suddenly you're in, and you're like, yeah,
It would be
I can
like
see that
it
happen.
would be like a new era version of like what a lot of people said, like, you know, Black Sabbath or whatever would do back in the day. If you played their vinyl on a record and spun it backwards, it would say hidden messages.
Dude, I can do that. I can do that. That's that. Like technology with music is like my life, so I can actually do that. I can encode it into the actual MP3. So like if you played it back like half speed, you would make out the word.
That is
So hey,
sick.
so let's go back to introduction, Claude, because I'm sure there's people watching and they don't know who you are. So that'd be good,
Yeah,
man, to
yeah.
finish
Sorry,
that
I got
Oh,
introduction.
excited.
it's
All
okay.
of us.
Sorry. No, it's all right. So yes, my name is Claude. I do go by EndPop, but most people in the world know me from being in a band called Anything Box. And I got lucky and I got a hit on Billboard for a short period of time. I'm what some would call a one-hit wonder. That's fine. I don't care.
Not many get to
Yeah.
say that, bro. Even and Emilio
Not many
says at
get to
Yo,
least
say,
three.
you have 3 hits. No, you're a 3 hit wonder. People just don't, that's not the way it processes, but you're really 3 hits.
yeah, well, here's the thing. Like this is how and this is more about like overall for anyone who's listening who it depends on how you define your success. If you define your success by having a Billboard hit or that you were in the mainstream, I'm lucky that I got it once. That's great. But I never defined success that way. So I define it as that was back in 1990. I'm still touring to this day. Oh, COVID aside, of course, but I was still touring to this day. I was still doing music to this day. So for me to be able to do music and art for 30 plus years, I don't give a shit if I'm not on NBC or I'm not on Billboard or whatever. As long as I get to do it, I'm happy. And as long as it makes the people happy that are the fans, that makes me happy. I define success that way. That's me. So, but yes, I can boast that yeah, I was on Billboard and I had a top 50. Not
You're
quite
way
number
more
one.
humble about it than me, man. I would have got my own fucking 3D printed trophy that I'd have behind. I would have had my own little like celebration. It would, you know what I mean? I'd have a T-shirt that I get. But you're a humble bro. I respect it.
Hey Ken,
Well,
before we get off that note, I was in Portugal. I've told Claude knows this. I'm in Portugal when that record came out. Claude used to play at my club, right? So, but we'll go into me a little bit. So I know Claude personally. Claude is like the guy I have coffee with. Here I am in Portugal in a town of 12,000 people, and I'm in the fair. They have a fair with kids on rides, and I think I was maybe 23, 24, and I'm walking, and there's I believe it was one of those Ferris wheel style ones, and there's Claude's song on. I was like, dude, it's almost I would want to say it's almost like if I was the artist and somebody asked me, hey, when did you first hear your song on a radio? I guess that would be as close as I could identify to that.
Right, because somebody so close to you, what you've heard personally, you finally ran into in a public setting.
In the middle of nowhere with 12,000 people, man, it was
Totally
throws you off.
unexpected. How was that when Emilio told you, hey, bro, I'm at this festival and they're playing your jam?
honestly, he only told me recently, so it's like
Yes.
it's 30 years late, but but it was still exciting to me because every time I hear about somewhere where it was played that I had no idea where it went, because you don't really know where your stuff goes, especially back then, right? So knowing that it has that weird feeling again. It's like I get that same feeling like the first time you hear yourself on
Oh,
the
you know what would
radio.
be
It always
really
gets me that
cool?
excited.
Yeah, I think Shazam or one of those weird audio, like, listening, finding apps are out
Uh-huh.
there. You might be able to put in some of your older sound from your music and search for it for people that uploaded home movies from all around the world and see if it's in the background of somebody else's life somewhere. And I thought about doing this with myself with Google Reverse Image, where I can take pictures of myself from like my old, MySpace page and shit, and see if I pop up in the background of other people's like fucking, vacation
That's cool.
photos and stuff.
I never thought of using Shazam for that. That's rad. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I mean, I thought about doing it for myself, like, kind of finding like an auto selfie biography or something on the internet, trying to find myself in like the Where's Waldo scenario of other people's photos. Um, but yeah, with music, it sounds, that would be really cool to do, is to see like, you know, how far it's spread, and like, the random snippets that will be in other people's, like, the theme music to their memories.
I have to tell you this story because it's just crazy. The wildest rendition that I've ever heard of any of my material, I found on YouTube. And it was by chance that I found it. Because it's one of those uploads where the description doesn't say much other than the title of the video. And I have no idea what country this is. I'm thinking that it's somewhere in the Philippines. I don't know what it is, but it's all these students with like, like the drum march thing, right? But this is like third world country. And they're all marching down the street and they're playing my song on all their drums and shit.
Oh,
And
that
when
would
I
be
saw
epic.
this video, I was like, how the fuck did it get there? Like, how did that song of all songs get there? And they
What
decided
song is that, Claude? What
it
song?
was not even like it was Carmen. It wasn't like one of
Oh,
the ones that was quote a hit in the States.
gotcha.
It was a hit in other places, and I didn't know about this. This is what I said. You never know where your shit goes, right? But
Especially before like social media and shit.
yeah. So watching these kids like literally like barefoot wearing drums just going boom dugga, dum, dum, dugga, going down the street and you can see like it's like like huts and whatnot, like dirt roads and they're all and this is being filmed. I was like, that is the shit. That is success.
Right,
Because
right.
yeah, because you're like, that is real, like that's real people.
That's
That's not
organic
just like
success, exactly.
yeah, that's not like somebody made some marketing move and all these people went out and bought the record. For all I know, that got shared between them. I don't know. But that to me, like I'll have to link that video when I'll find that video. I'll send it to you. It's crazy.
Please
It's
do,
one of
man.
the
That sounds
craziest
sick. I
videos
wish I
I've
had
ever
like a Jamie, like Joe Rogan and shit. I'd be like, yo, Jamie, pull that up.
seen.
So,
Right?
so I
But
guess I want to segue into, like the crypto sphere, and and kind of bring in the artistic side that is, EndPop, and the crypto side that is Emilio, and like what you guys think the future of art, and even music, entertainment, and tokenization really looks like to you guys.
well, can I start, Emilio?
Please.
Well, so I heard of Ethereum when it was really new. Like I want to say it was about 2015. And that was the second opportunity with crypto that I missed. So I saw a talk and I was enthralled by the idea of smart contracts. So like as a musician, because for all the successes, I've also had massive failure. And the massive failure, surprise, surprise, is that I was signed to a major label that basically took all the rights to all my masters, basically never paid a single cent in royalties. They do Hollywood accounting, which you've heard, on other podcasts. You know what Hollywood accounting is, right? Where they
Well,
like,
this is what
oh,
Kanye's kind of fighting for when he says he's trying to get
exactly.
his masters. It's not just for him, it's for also artists like yourself.
Yeah, and to put it in perspective, modern day, I read that Taylor Swift yesterday, it was yesterday, lost her bid to her masters yet again when her record company sold it for a profit. And I don't quote me on the price, but it was over 4 million, I believe. So they sold her masters to another company, and now that master is going to be tied up for about 30 years before she has access to it. So going back to 2015, I'm hearing about Ethereum. And the first thing that I thought of was if they get the royalty structures down, that's the game changer, because then it means that nobody can use fake accounting anymore. You're accountable to the blockchain, which means that any sale, any royalty, any payment that was made to, third party is going to be checked and you can check it on the fly. So you can't lie. And that to me was the big deal. I wish I'd gotten into Ethereum back then. I didn't. That was my other epic
Oh
fail.
man, me
It
too.
was-
Ethereum, funny story, same thing. Like 2015, I heard about it, watched Vitalik talk about it, and all it did was sell me on Bitcoin more. You know, like I saw Andreas Antonopoulos talk about the Internet of Money, and that was kind of boring. I got it, but it was boring. Vitalik, boring, presentation, but the Internet of Things as a topic, that excited
yeah.
me. And I saw the same principle for, Ethereum smart contracts when Vitalik was talking about the Internet of Things. I saw the same thing when, Andreas was saying, the Internet of Money, programmable money. I'm like, yeah, okay, Ethereum's Bitcoin. Got it. Let me get some Bitcoin now. And I actually, the Ethereum ICO is what got me to get my first Bitcoin, but I didn't get into Ethereum until it actually launched on Coinbase. I waited for the legitimacy, you know what I mean? Like the
Yeah, that was in my case that was a mistake, right? Because I could have gotten it for I think it was 17 cents at the time that I saw it.
I got in at $4, and people will look at the
Wow,
difference between
yeah,
your 17 cents and my $4 and today's price of almost 500. And
yes.
eventually at 500 today will be their story. They watched this podcast with Emilio and EndPop and Ken, and now Ethereum's 5 grand and they didn't get in on today. This will be a part of somebody's I missed the boat moment.
Yeah, I did. It is, and so that's the music side, and then that whole thing about smart contracts equates on the art side because I also do art. So in traditional art, right, you have if you're lucky, you get a gallery to represent you, and the gallery will take 50% of whatever you do. It's a deal, and I know that artists do this all the time. The difference though is that when the artist dies, that's when let's face it, that's when the bigger money comes in. And then the gallery is actually banking 100%. They're not giving that 50% over to the family of the artist and all their holdings, everything that they were holding on that artist, any paintings that stayed in that gallery. They're not, that revenue isn't being shared by the family of the artist. So I like the idea that you have smart contracts that take care of the artist in the future. So if I die, my siblings, my children, they would know where to find my secret keys. They would know that there's royalties coming on certain levels from the art and the music. So to me, these are game changers. We're eliminating the middleman even more than quote the first wave of the internet. So to me, it's a very important time.
Emilio
It's a
can vibe
revolution.
on this with the NFT space because right now, as a creator myself, on platforms, like Rarible or even Atomic Hub, I could lock in a creator's fee. So after I create my art and then sell it, anytime somebody sells it on the secondary market, I still get about 10 to 15% of that secondary sale. So the royalties are just built in naturally now to these assets, which is really cool.
So based on what you just said, this is a brain fart because uh, one of my bandmates and I, we talked about this maybe I'm aging myself here, but maybe 17 years ago. So we're talking like, 2000 around there. We were talking about instead of like punishing fans for stealing MP3s, right? Because that's what people were doing right there. They were trying to go after anybody that had an MP3, they were going after them. I was like, we were talking about what would happen if we could incentivize the fans to sell their goods. It's in other words, we give them, we sell them the song or the thing that they download, and then they're allowed to resell it to other people, so that instead of sharing, they can say, "Look, I'll give it to you, but just give me $1 for it." So that you're incentivizing the fans to make money along with the artist, because this has never been like traditionally speaking, because we were talking about this before we started, right? Fans versus being the creator and being a fan of the art. People who are fans traditionally, I don't want to say they got screwed, but traditionally speaking, we went out, we bought the record, we bought the video, whatever it was. But again, that record company is generating the major funds for everything that's coming in. Those profits are going to them. It's not going to the artists, and it's definitely not going to the fans. So, we used to think about this a lot, that there should be a system in place where the artist and the fans interact, and as the artist grows, the fan can grow too. And like, who says the fan can't make money on their favorite artist? And like, who, why not? Let them be investors. So again, that's where the blockchain comes in what you're saying, right? Which is, here's the thing that I put on Rarible. Now, if you want to take it and sell it on the open market, you can, and I'll be making money from this. So you're not hurting me in any way, and you're making yourself money. If you want to do it and profess it to the entire world that this is wonderful, go for it. I'm not losing out. You're not losing out. So on that level, it's a win-win.
Yeah,
so I can see this being.
I call it fandom economics, where like your audience now has an economy for being an audience of your entertainment, whether it's music or art in general, or I even think the same thing you're saying, dude. As soon as I saw Justin Sun buy BitTorrent and do BitTorrent token and everything, I was just like, yeah, all this makes sense. The economy of piracy is coming, and this is just the first like test net of it. But major label companies will start, and they've already, independent labels even intentionally leak their art onto, the Pirate Bay or things like the Napster, like nowadays, because it gets it into the hands of the people. And then those people come and get a t-shirt or a hat and then pick up the album to play in their car or whatever. But it's like the marketing aspect of it now has changed, and it's making the economics of it evolve as well. So, you definitely were on to something, and the way that the way that blockchain economics is progressing forward, it's just going to be inherent how creation, begets reward and incentivizes the economy around that. The fandom, or, I don't want to say like the hype or like the FOMO, but that's what it would be like. If Justin Bieber had his own shitcoin with his own art and NFT MP3 music like what we have today, and you could invest in that now, imagine what it would be worth now that he's where he's at today,
Yeah, exactly.
That's why when I see people creating tokenized art, I want some of that, because there is that potential of having like that shared ownership of like the Justin Bieber first YouTube video upload. Like I could have some ownership of this.
And I'll tell you, it was late. I consider myself early late to the party because I held off and held off and held off. But I kept reading about it. Every year something would happen where I would be exposed to this is the universe talking and me not listening, right? Mm. So it's like the blockchain articles would come my way and I'd read it and go, wow, this is fantastic. I wonder when this is going to happen. Never realizing that I could start doing this today. I could, first of all, buy some Bitcoin. First of all, I could buy some Ethereum. It wasn't until the pandemic hit that I got forced to be indoors and read more and all this stuff. I revisited all my old notes, and I basically said, what have I been doing with this Bitcoin thing? Like, what have I been doing with this crypto thing? Nothing. So it's time to actually do something with this. And that's when I discovered the NFT space. And then I was like, oh my God, this is me. Like, this is the stuff I've been wanting to do forever. I had no name for it, but this is it.
Right.
So I'm stoked.
I'm with you, man. I fell in love with the NFTs as a concept in general when like CryptoKitties first came out with their basic, utility for it, and I was just okay. Yeah, I can see loyalty programs and reward programs, and the way things are becoming, digitized without blockchain technology. T-shirts now have like RFID and NFC technology in it, so I could just tap my phone to a T-shirt and make sure it's legit from Under Armour and not some ripoff. Okay, okay, now put that on the blockchain so I can verify it so I don't have to trust it, and we're good to go.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. I was looking into I don't know if you've seen this, but there's an app called oh gosh, I just lost it. It's not the brain just went.
Well, I want to get a chance for Emilio to jump in. He's been so quiet.
I know. Yeah, that's a perfect thing.
It's yeah, we'll give you a minute to think about that. But man, it's always hard when you have two guys like you. You know, I think highly of you in different aspects. You know, so you guys, you know, not because of anything, but both of you are very intelligent in different aspects, and it's nice to be
Oh, I
amongst.
gotta play my disclaimer. Keep going.
It's nice to be amongst people that give you that inspire you. You know, so you guys inspire me.
This is
But
my disclaimer, by the way.
uh,
This is
my
not financial advice.
yeah, and it's funny. I
I
keep on
will
hearing
show
that
this to
lately.
the judge when you try to sue me for financial advice.
But yeah, so yeah, I give you, man. My story is a little. I like to start when I arrived in the U.S. in '74, and I turned on the television. You know, the next day it's rainy, and I turned the TV on, and John Wayne is killing Indians, and I was never exposed to American Indians, and it became a very important part of my life because I find the balance of my life through them now. So I needed to say that. Uh, the next part was I asked since I was born in a national park, I asked my dad where the river was. So he sent me down to a river in Newark, New Jersey that had about an inch of black sludge on it and nothing lived in it. So and then since I come from a hard working family, I mean, my grandmother was a farmer all her life. So I consider her to work from the day she was born to the day she died, Monday through Sunday. So I started working at 13, and I was able always to have some money for myself. I asked my dad for some money when I was 16 or 17 for my first car. It was like a $600 car, and I wound up with a Chevy Vega, and I'm sure some people know what that is. And he fought my mom to give me that money, and my mom was always sticking up for me. So it was kind of nice to finally get a little more help outside of what I gave myself. You know, not that I was ever deprived of anything. Actually, we were always pretty well off considering some of the people that were around us. So I'm very fortunate. Um, so to continue the story, I graduated high school and I actually ran for my class president as a joke and I won, right? Usually the jock wins, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Right. So now my friends had some hall passes and the whole bit that you would see on a Ferris Bueller movie or something like that. So it was pretty cool. Actually, the gym teacher tried to get me kicked out. He goes, "Oh, you fucking punk rocker, you can't be the president of the class," right? I was into punk rock, and so he and I'm like, "Why not?" He goes, "You got to have a B average." I was like, "Sorry, dude." Got to be average. I ain't going nowhere. So right. So I wanted to. So that was my first encounter into this world of the world of presidents and vice presidents and corporations and everything. And I wind up starting a club with my French teacher called the East Side Student Civic Association. And basically, what we did was plant some trees around the school.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, that was in
That's
1984.
awesome.
The most
That was in
philanthropy I ever
1984.
did in high school was I did the AIDS walk and run every year in high school. I went for I think it was a 10K marathon, and I did it every year. And I got all my neighbors to give me money for miles I ran.
That's awesome.
I cheated because I was always high, so the time just flew.
Nice, dude. It's always nice to hear people giving back, and I did that at my late. So let me continue the story because I'll get to the giving back. So graduated high school, didn't know what I was going to do, but kind of wanted to do something more than the normal. My sister had gone to college, or she was in college at the time, and I decided on going around Europe for 3 months with a backpack, bought a horse, and left the horse with my grandma. Came back to the United States. A friend of mine was destitute because his girlfriend left him and he wanted to kill himself. So I was like, dude, forget about there's a million other women out there. You're not going to take your life out because of. So I said, let's open up a nightclub. 6 months later, we opened up a nightclub called it was DJ Freaks with him. And this was in 1985. And somewhere, well, we got the keys, but we opened at different times, so I don't even want to go into the specific
That's
times.
3 years before I was born.
So, listen to this. So I'm opening a punk rock club, and punk rock basically was a baby still, if you look at it, right? And people are like, "Oh, you're not going to last 6 months." I was there 14 years, but not only was I there 14 years, I hosted people like Claude. that's still making music.
That's
I
nice.
hosted 9 Inch Nails that's still making music. And not only that, I was watching a commercial 2 days ago. I've been trying to get a hold of me, Claude. Claude. Hey, Trent Reznor, if you're hearing this, man, or this gets to you, listen, you got to call Emilio, huh? But, yeah.
I'll hit him up too.
Yeah, and then also, and so I'm talking about bands that are still doing something, right? You have your Corner Stream, you have Flaming Lips. They're doing the concerts in the bubble,
Flipping Lips
right?
over there, man.
Right? They played the Pipeline, so I could still open the Trade magazine for music today, and I'll find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bands that played my club.
That's pretty cool, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So I get you have a coin. You have one of a drink token from the Pipeline.
I do. I have. It's a physical coin.
Yeah, but I want to give you one that's signed one day because I have like 300 left or 200, and I'm going to make actual NFTs out of them and mail people it with my signature.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that's
awesome.
where the NFC or RFID stuff comes into play.
So, but so I'll continue my story real quick, and then we'll go on into other stuff, man. So, with the club being open 14 years and the advent of the internet, you got to realize that bands like 9 Inch Nails have been viewed on my website, not on my websites, but people's downloads 5 million times. Claude's probably been watched 1 million times through the Pipeline show also, because his show was recorded live also.
Oh, that's cool. So you could go to like a conference in the past, like what the fuck is it? Like I Love the 80s and shit. Like that's
and watch
cool.
these concerts.
I have an old Pipeline flyer where we played with Jam 69.
Oh, hey,
So is
that's funny.
that event archived, Emilio?
Hold on, Sham 69 shammed me.
They did?
One of the very few bands to sham the Pipeline, dude. It's funny because, I don't know who was on that bill at the time, but they didn't show up. They wanted more money, and they took a guarantee over the phone. We'll pay you look. We always paid our guarantee. The beautiful thing about the Pipeline is either we paid the guarantee or we gave the band all drink. Claude could attest for this. Claude, did you ever have to pay for a drink when you played?
No. I don't remember ever paying for a drink.
Right. So if anything, we knew we had a bar, so we're not going to let nobody pay to drink. That as an artist, and check this out. I'm going to tell you something. The IRS came after me when I closed, and I couldn't account for the booze that I gave the bands, and they fined me for it, dude.
Oh.
Yeah. So which is okay because
I wonder if did you find out that maybe there's like a thing where you have to buy it and write it off as like a gift for like gift taxes?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a way around it, Ken. But the thing is, I own a punk rock club, dude. I was a patron to the arts. I held the place for 14 years where I gave more than I ever made. When I closed, they opened up the Prudential Arts Center in Newark. The government was giving them $25 million a year to operate, dude. They never gave me a penny, and they tried to take money away from me.
You'd be able to get you'd be able to get money back instead of having to get fined by them.
So
yeah.
Check this one out. So that's another old Pipeline flyer.
Oh, nice.
That was a hand painted. I made that back then. That was a full on flyer for a show at the Pipeline back in '88.
Whoa, bro, that's some pretty sick art
and this
too.
One, look.
Oh, see, now it's getting sick.
Yeah, it was crazy stuff, man.
So as we're going along with this, so then progressing till today, man. Randy was in my background. Randy, you probably don't know him, Claude. You probably were in the same room together at the Pipeline, I'm sure. But Ken knows Randy.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, I know Randy, man. I fucking love you, Randy.
So Randy was doing the crypto, and once in a while on Facebook he'd post something. So I called him up one day, say, hey, and I had heard about crypto through my work. I'm an audiovisual professional in New York. I do Fortune 500 companies. My work is gone, dude. I was looking at the figures. You're talking about billions of dollars in an industry with thousands and thousands of, I think they were saying 8 million Americans work in the audiovisual concepts, you know what I mean? For that, concerts and stuff, not Zoom, routing something on Zoom. Like before, you needed 40 guys to do a show. Now you need 2 guys to run a Zoom conference or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
the industry has been disrupted by the technology. That is for sure.
So I called Randy. I said, Randy, give me some advice. Emilio, bro, you got to go research, right? Any person that you find in this industry that starts that, they care about you, right? That starts talking to you about cryptos. Look, go do your own research and then come back to me. And next thing you know, we're eating at a friend of mine's restaurant. He says, let's do a center, a crypto club. You spoke at the club at the time, right?
Yeah, man.
And
that's
and
an
that's
awesome club, by the way. I love the venue. What was the name of that place? Because they accepted crypto at the bar.
Terminal 1.
Terminal 1 in New Jersey. Yeah, they accept crypto at the bar. So I actually got to have some drinks and munchies and spend crypto and speak with my bros at a meetup at a venue that was just all awesome. So yeah, Terminal 1, shout out.
Yeah. So to continue that, I was on a phone with back and forth with Claude because I discovered the NFTs. So I'm saying, Claude, you got to get on this, and not to go into the companies that we're talking about in the back end, because you would know some of these companies because this is not released news yet. I'm bringing Claude into the NFT space through some people that know what they're doing already, so he doesn't make mistakes, and we build our organization bigger. Even him being on this with us now, our organization, we don't have paperwork or anything like that. It's an affiliation of friendship, of love. And as probably Brock Pierce has said this, and you heard me say this before, he says, it's not about making $1 billion, dude. It's about positively impacting 1 billion people. And bro, you do that every day. Bro, positive. I've seen it on the right. People from other parts of the country, they make $2 a day, and bro almost gave a down payment on a house. Oh, dude, or bought him a house. Who knows?
Right. I don't publicize this shit, so it's just like between me and my friends.
No, but it's right. So, but on Twitter, right? You, Gockstein, a few other people. You guys are always giving away money. Ben, Rice.
Yeah, man. I gave away the $5,000 to a girl in the Philippines, and she told me she makes like $4 a day.
That's you know what I mean. Yeah, right. So dude, I'm a fan of yours. I'm your friend. I'm a fan of the people in this space that really are having a positive impact attitude. And the more I'm involved in it, the more I see it. I'm bringing it into my life. You have your own token, right? The Ken token.
Yeah, I do. It's on Bitcoin Cash. It's a SLP, and it's a verified token. It has like a whole check thing next to it and everything. It's cool. And it trades on Memo Cash Exchange. People are buying Ken, which is hilarious.
So Emilio's going to do his own token. Emilio's going to do his own token based on his assets that he's going to acquire soon. And somehow we're going to find a way to residually get money back. We have enough people in our network. I've been talking to people, and I'm sure Claude is also going to tokenize stuff and also going to have his own for sure, his own token.
Yeah, a lot of what people, what artists want to do as far as like, being their own everything, I guess, as an artist goes. I don't know where to start, like publication, and distributor. Yeah, exactly. A really good artist to follow is Coin Artist Marguerite. I think she's setting the standard for how artists are going to create that fandom economic economy or cyclical economy. Emilio, have you checked out what Coin Artist is doing with her coin token? I provide liquidity on Uniswap, and I earn coins like cred, and then I can stake cred to then farm NFTs. So I'm basically providing liquidity to her market cap, and I'm earning art for doing so. Passive.
That's what I mean. That's the thing right there.
But here you are. So you're talking about one example, right? So we could go to Vesa. We could go to Lucho.
I was going to mention Vesa next, of course.
Right? We could go to Lucio Pilati. We could go. Dude, it's Trevor Jones with finding the guy to Joe Dalbo.
Josie?
Yeah, Josie, right? There's just Carlos Marcial. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have a physique, man. Physique has got a crazy. I mean, these artists. I know right now we're talking about people that have applications in their art, but even Johnny Dollar the other day was showing an example of what do they call that?
I have his right here. Actually, I have two of them. I think I can grab this one off safely. Yeah, he has augmented reality art. So when I open up a certain app and I scan art by Johnny Dollar, I don't know if this one is exactly. It might be. I know the Cookie Monster one here is, but that one's stuck up on the wall pretty well. But yeah, his art comes to life virtually when you take out your phone, and it's like augmented reality art.
It can.
Oh, that's
Florida was a little weird, man, right? So not everybody, the vibe broke up, man. Right. And Vice, man, which I love, bro. He was like feeling it the most. I think he still felt it the longest, because of certain things, but to come off of that, what I was going to say is like, there was that part of that piece of art that was done by the Fractal Encrypt. Did you see that?
Yeah, the one
clock.
that was the clock, exactly. Yeah,
the clock.
I took a picture with the clock. I actually think I have a picture with Lucho too that I can't post it.
But bro, this is looking at these things. It's like, man, this is far out.
No, it
It
is.
is
It's
far
like a living blockchain piece of art. If guys haven't seen it, the fractal, I forget what it was called. It's like it's a physical blockchain piece of art. It's alive. It's living.
It's a clock, right?
Right. Yeah.
And it gets
yeah.
its information. It gets its information from the blockchain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Insane.
And
Dude,
it's
that's some of the
high-level stuff.
it's a physical piece of art that was tokenized. So the asset ownership is like a tokenized verification instead of like a physical piece of paper certificate.
Hey, I got a hold of him. I wanted to buy it. Do you know what he was selling it for?
Probably like 5 Bitcoin.
No, in Bitcoin.
That was it then?
Dude, and it was going, Bitcoin at the time was like 3,500, 3,800.
Right. No way. I thought that was a 10K piece easy. I did not know
Well,
that.
I texted
Dude,
him.
I didn't even ask him because I assumed it would be so much I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Ballsy me. You know what I do at the dinner at the Versace mansion? I'm like, dude, you got to get some of these people to sign that because that's badass. And these people's signature should be on this time zone, dude.
That's a good point. Yeah, and that's
He's
what
like, no, I don't want
Vested
nobody. I love Fractal, but he's like, no, I don't want nobody to touch it.
Right, but that's what Vested did with one of his pieces where everybody signed it, and because of that, it actually gained significant value with each signature that was added.
Well, he's trying to get $1 million for it, and it's going for a women's organization, right? A women's anti-battery organization, right?
Yep, and as more and more people sign it, it goes up and up. So, I mean, I know that, people are going to want, somebody's going to sign it one day, and that one signature is going to be the FOMO on the Vesta art piece.
There you go. That's amazing. See, that kind of stuff is like, it's invaded my soul. Like, I've been researching all this stuff for weeks, like, this is it. So we were talking about geocaching earlier.
There you
go.
Yes. So what EndPop was talking about earlier, if you guys don't know what geocaching is, it's a way to hide things. You know what? Just check out the app, but it's a way to hide things in your neighborhood or find things that somebody hid in your neighborhood, and it's like a game of treasure hunt, find and seek, tag. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun thing. Before I heard about geocaching, so I'm gonna go back and age myself yet again. But when the web was new, and I put up my first website, which was around '96, I think it was the first time, or '94. I don't
Cool.
remember.
A lot of cool
early,
3D text moving art, I bet.
We're talking like old school. And the first thing that I learned how to code, which was really funny, was an image map. So like my thought was, like, people would use the image map to, when they were lazy to make the menu on top of the page, they just did an image map. My thought was, fuck the image map. What I want to know is, can each piece of the image be linked? And when I found out that it could, one of the first ABOX sites, that's what people call my band for short, one of the first ABOX sites had secrets all over it. Like, if you happen to like click on a weird, thing on the picture, it would give you a free song, or it would play you something, or you would get something.
Oh, so you had like Easter eggs and shit.
Yeah, so I had Easter eggs all over the site. Seriously, nobody could find them, but there was they were all over the place.
So were they like pixel parameter based? So like you
Yeah,
had
it
to
was
click
just
on the
yeah, it
right
was
sort
funny
of
thing.
pixel.
It was like if you saw a face, if you clicked on the pupil, that might take you somewhere. You know, and I just
That's
loved it.
interesting.
And some of it was, BS stuff. Like
That's really early innovation for gamification of like a website, bro. Respect.
yeah, it was one of the first things that I thought about doing. So I did that, right? So then I got dissatisfied with it because obviously as I was going forward, I was like, but there's no way to give them clues unless I give it away. And then, like, because social media didn't exist then. So now it's like kind of like it's coming around again where I'm like, it's not so much that I can hide stuff, but I can have coordinates. The coordinates could be sitting on a piece of physical art. It could be sitting on a piece of blockchain art. So if you collect all 5 pieces, you get the whole geolocation for where the other physical piece was hidden. Like there's like so much cool stuff you can do now. So I'm like all over it. So that's like my thing, right? So I reach out to Emilio and I'm like, I want to learn more, like, but yeah,
Well,
this
earlier
year,
you were talking about like shredding physical art and
yeah,
distributing it. What I think would be cool is, and then you said you wanted to like have a digital version, right? Which was the original in
yeah,
one
the
piece.
digital version, would that
I
become the
think
original?
flipping that paradigm though. Flip that paradigm. Keep the original physical art in one piece, but shard the ownership of it. Right? So now and then when people can collect all, say, 100 ownership, NFTs that you hid in different places, you could have like a QR code in like a Pokemon ball, and you could bury that, use geocache so people could find the NFTs, and then they could try to collect all 100 to claim the physical version that has been in the EndPop vault.
Brilliant,
Because
brilliant.
I don't want you to destroy the physical piece so bad.
Well, I did it. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. You guys talk. I'm going to show you something, but I'll be right back.
All
I
right.
swear.
Emilio, what do you think though about that? Because I thought when I seen some of these things like what Blockchain Heroes is doing, and then you can do things with Atomic Hub like the claim link. Well, I found out I could encrypt the claim link and put a password on top of it. I could then take that password and put it in different places physically, like what NPOP was saying, and somebody could
Yeah,
try to, get their friends to go out and get it instead of them having to travel the world. They could do it social network where they're just like, hey, there's like a password 6 blocks away from like where you live. Like they could reach out to their friends and cousins and try to collect, just a piece of the private key. And then redeem the blockchain heroes pack that I tokenized and sharded the password to.
you just gave me
But
a crazy idea, man. Like I just got a crazy flipping idea just based on what you just said. I can I can create a wallet and put money in that wallet and then tokenize the real physical art so that each piece that they find has a piece of the hash or the code, the private key to get into that wallet. So whoever finds all the pieces, they have access to that wallet and whatever money I put in there.
Yeah.
Like
See,
that, that's the kind of shit I want to do.
and this is the shit I feel like Satoshi had to do. Before Satoshi disappeared, there is an Easter egg out there, Ready Player One style, that nobody has figured out. It has to be in like the chat logs or something where there's a pattern that if you can figure it out, there's a way to get the keys. Because Satoshi didn't just leave us. There has to be some kind of Easter egg that we're missing, and at least I'm
Yeah.
hoping the sharded
Oh,
private key is out there encrypted for a way for some lucky player. Because the way I started to look at Bitcoin more and more as I get into like NFTs and blockchain gaming and stuff is like, yeah, Bitcoin's like a video game. It's just the best video game your computer
ever
can
made.
play. And if it's good at playing the video game, it gets rewarded. So now everyone's incentivized to play this video game, get good at this video game, because it pays to play this video game. And it's just like you can LARP at it. You could be a node, you could be a miner, you could be a shill. It's like such a live action role playing Dungeons and Dragons scenario. It's like the white paper is just like a dungeon master book to me now.
Dude, you just made me so sad. I just thought of that about that day again. So I'm gonna explain to you what happened that day. so that the whole world knows what stupid mistake I made so that they don't make this mistake now while Bitcoin is still climbing and they buy some. Okay. So a friend of mine tells me it's going to be Bitcoin. It's going to be about Bitcoin. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What is it? He's like, so he tried to explain it to me. But the intrigue was enough that I remember going home and going into the site that he told me to go through. And I believe it was bitcoin.com at that time, but don't quote me on that because I'm not sure. But all I remember was that it said, we will give you $5 worth of Bitcoin if you become a node. And that was the deal. And so I remember signing up and I remember doing everything I had to do. And then I remember it saying like, you know, this will be you have to create a wallet now and you're going to have to do this. And I don't think I created the wallet. I don't think I did. But what was interesting was that I was running a really crappy computer at the time. And so it was basically I guess what you would call an early form of the mining, because it was mining. My computer was actually mining and it was slowing down to a crawl. And I just remember going, I can't let it do this all day long because if I do this, I'm not going to get any work done.
Right, it was CPU
So I
based
stopped
before
it.
it went to like, ASIC and shit.
Yeah. So yeah, we're talking Windows XP, like horrible
Dude,
computer.
like early fucking cell phones could have ran Bitcoin back then.
Yeah. So I'm doing it, and I remember it saying like you earned 1 Bitcoin, and I'm like, oh wow, so it does that is cool. I remember that, and then I remember it saying something like now you have to open a wallet and blah 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 blah, and I didn't do it for whatever reason. I didn't do it. I closed it and I said I'll get back to that, and then I never touched it again for years. So I did the math that the $5 of worth of Bitcoin that I would have gotten just for doing the wallet would be worth about 8 million today, like by my
Wow.
account.
Damn. I
So
actually
yeah.
just computer, my mic cut out. I actually just had a cousin of mine. He got married about 2.5 years ago, and I gave him $50 worth of Bitcoin, and he just did some math, and it's worth about 2 grand now. So he tried to sweep the paper wallet I gave him, and I told him, don't show it to anybody but me when you want to do something with it. Somebody at work, he tried to help him with his paper wallet, and my cousin lost my gift to him. I haven't heard from him. Yeah, I
Oh
haven't heard from him since he,
yeah.
told me, but yeah, we tried to sweep the paper wallet together, and the funds were moved the day his friend was trying to help him. So yeah, be careful,
Wow.
with who you trust out there, guys. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. You
best.
gotta be careful, and I mean, that is the downside of all this, right? And so that's why, like, some people are like, well, then I should keep it on Coinbase, or I should keep it on,
Right, right, and this is why I'm
the
not.
dirty
I mean, it is what it is, but
PayPal.
uh, at least they're suable. You can sue Coinbase. You know what I'm saying? You may not get your
Yeah.
Bitcoin back, but maybe you'll get your
Yeah.
dollars back, and you could buy Bitcoin again. But I mean,
Yeah.
the centralized entities may be as evil as they are, but they serve the purpose of the dodos of our financial situation. There's a lot of people that are going to get Darwin Awards when it comes to the economic collapse, but
It's
unfortunately,
true.
those centralized entities would have probably helped my cousin in his situation and you as well. Maybe not so much
Yeah.
if it was Mount
Well, I still
Gox.
have that hard drive.
Right, right.
Well,
That's what I'm
He didn't
saying.
have too much of it was Mount Gox.
So one day, eventually, a business will pop up where you'll be able to send in that hard drive and know that maybe you'll lose 70% or 50% or whatever, but they might be able to recover those funds, man, because they have that NSA API.
It's 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that's the crazy stuff, right?
Oh man, we almost went
So
over
when
the
I went
time
over
here. I
there,
wanted to wrap things up. Yes, let's talk about anything and everything that we didn't get a chance to talk about. I'm sorry.
no, it's all good. What I was going to show you was that, like, here's a piece, right? I don't know if you could see it clearly, but so this piece is actually a CD, right?
Oh,
And the way that I had done this was I had glued like 15 of these to a wall, and I'd painted the entire thing as one piece. And then each one had pieces of wood and things glued onto it. So in the end, there's 40 of these, but, or sorry, 15 of these. But when you put them together, the whole thing actually forms one entire piece. So I've been doing a lot of weird things where I break up the original. So I definitely am not adverse to like tearing one apart in the hopes of putting them together at some point. Because sometimes I tear apart my own paintings and glue pieces of them to other paintings, and that's how I make work too. So for me to destroy some is not as bad as it sounds. It works with my style of making art, breaking the original up. So I'm not adverse to it.
So you're like,
I get the point.
You're like a,
don't you dare tear it apart.
You create through destruction.
Yeah, so to me it's not so bad. But like the other day I'd done one and I'd shown it to my girlfriend. I was like, so this is one of the ones I'm thinking about tearing up. And she just like, no, don't you dare. Don't dare. You can't tear it up. And I'm like, but this is a good one to do that with. And she's like, no, don't do it. So I get it.
Yeah, I'm with her.
Like that.
I'm totally with her. But I also think that, sharding art is really an interesting way to gamify the whole process. And it's been interesting to see artists do their own video game-esque kind of gameplay when it comes to their art, and it's really cool that you've done that with music and art at once. That's a pretty epic combination and a really original, unique way to get it out there, where it's there's 15 different pieces. That means potentially 15 different people have to come together. And
yeah, one day. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was my point. I was like, one day you guys will have to come together to exhibit that. And I'll probably be dead. But the pleasure that I'm getting from it is that someday someone will say, I have one of those 15. And so to me, that's like a big deal. Like, I like that aspect of it. It's not just, oh, I bought their album. It's like, yeah, you bought the album, but you have something else. You got a very unique thing. And that I don't know. I guess that's
added value.
That's where my pleasure comes from. Is like seeing someone really happy.
Well, that's one way to be. That's one way to immortalize yourself too, man. It's
that fear of death, man.
Yo, I mean, to be honest, fuck a tombstone. I want a gamified art project. That's the way to be remembered, bro. That is epic, man. All right, Emilio, any final thoughts, bro?
Yeah, man. Well, we got to get back together after, we solidify some of the stuff that's happening now, because Claude and I are working on something that we could, it's not good to mention stuff before you finish it up with people. So afterwards, it's right up your alley. So, it's something that we're going to have to keep in touch. And the other side is that, I was telling you for a while about my plans with this Portugal space that I'm opening up. So, I could, start talking about it now. I was like, we had spoken, and you said, Emilio, you got to come on the show. I was like, oh man, I didn't have much that interested I have to say until something else happens. But I think that's now is a proper time. So this Bitcoin center I'm opening in Portugal up, which I'll be looking for 3 sponsors. I'll have a premium sponsor, a gold sponsor, and a silver sponsor. Man, it's going to be a place in Portugal. It'll be in the south of Portugal. And this place is going to be a place where local people could go and learn how to adopt crypto, because it's coming. And it's a heavy tourist area. So I'm making look a restaurant on the first floor where it's locally priced, something for the local people, not something for the tourists. So, and right now with COVID, I think that's the smartest thing to do. So that's my plan for I was looking to open up in May, and I'll So but we'll be speaking more about that. I already asked you to show up, so
I'll be there, bro. I'm excited,
right?
man.
I'll be there.
I want to on-ramp some people in Portugal and show them how to unbank themselves before that iceberg.
Yeah, but
hit.
I thought Portugal was behind the ball, man. Those guys in Portugal, you said you were in Porto, man. You've been there, man. Those guys are pushing it.
They really are, though, for real.
They're pushing it.
It's interesting to see different places around the world adopting it differently and having different perspectives on utility as far as adoption goes. When you see first world countries kind of snub their nose at something, third world countries are in between or going like, full steam ahead on. So it's pretty obvious where the paradigm shifts will take place. And I'm looking to see, Venezuela has been so hard on Bitcoin mining.
I know.
They
man.
are due for that fucking paradigm shift of becoming like the reserve nation of fucking wealth, right? Like they've earned that shit, and it's because they had to.
Did you see that documentary? It just came out on YouTube. It was a documentary called oh man, Brain Again. Okay, but in this documentary, it shows a family in Venezuela who are mining in the back of their house, and they have like 2 machines, and they manage to mine about $30 worth of Bitcoin a week, and that's how they pay their rent, and that's how they buy their food. And
People don't know this, but their electricity is free. Okay, so
yeah, so and they're like, this basically saved our family. So like when you see that and you're like, this is something I can just buy on Coinbase. I go and I buy it. And these people are like taking the trouble to like create a machine, throw a fan in front of it. It's running 24 hours trying to generate some coins so they can pay their rent and buy their food. That's what adoption really means, is when you're seeing it from the other side and you're like, man, Americans, wake up, man.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Let me give you. I was on a Zoom conference before we were here together, and I was with the Wall Street conference, right? And to make a long story short, I have a knack of going in the back door to places, right? So I wind up having access to a Zoom that Emilio's this probably the least known. It's so obscure, so far out. But anyway, they started their event today, which was about crowdfunding, right? I took pictures, but I couldn't record. I was on the phone and so on. But I took some pictures of the players in the game. So they had the questions and answers open. So I went. They disabled it after my question. So I was like, I believe that somebody on this group here has to talk about blockchain, and they disabled me. But this is a Wall Street type of firm, the current monetary fund working type of place. But the one guy that was running the crowdfunding company, right? I don't remember the name. I don't want to even mention the name, but he was speaking, and he finished the speak of that 1-hour program by saying that to the Wall Street guy, he's like, have you heard of Robinhood? And Ken and we were talking about this not too long ago with Joe Leska. We even mentioned him earlier. And Robinhood changed the game, and then other ones are following now. But this gentleman said, I would fear for my job if I was you. In no lesser words, I would fear for my job. But not only would I fear my job because of places like Robinhood, right, I would be here too long to talk about this, but then he finished off, digital assets will change the way everybody does.
Absolutely.
And this was in a forum that I got shut out from asking any more questions because they didn't want to implicate things. But the person that was on it, I was part of the crowdfunding, because as a crowdfunder, there is no way that this guy is not seeing blockchain on his radar.
Of course.
Right. Well, dude, I was at DEF CON in Vegas in 2018. It's the hacker conference, and there was like 12-year-old kids hacking voting machines with like ballpoint pens. Kind of ironic now that we're at where we're at with that topic, but it's really funny if you look at DEF CON 2018, and there was like a 14-year-old girl and like a 12-year-old boy that like hacked it in minutes with a ballpoint pen of all things. I was talking to the kids at this hacker conference, and they got in on ICOs and shit. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting here like, all right, cool. Like, kids are already, incriminated. You're implicated. You know what I'm saying? What are they going to do when kids start, minors, 10-year-olds start putting their allowance in the Tesla stock? That it's tokenized. It's just, there's not. So it's changing everything.
Oh, for sure. I have a son, right? I have an 8-year-old and I have a 14-year-old. My 8-year-old has no phone, so no wallet yet, but my son has a wallet. And not only has a wallet, but he knows about Ken and Ken being a gamer. And I said, look, you got to learn Ken's gaming skills and how to do the crypto, because the whole thing is coming, right? You could earn crypto, you could have NFT characters. Actually, they were, what was the thing that I just saw today was for Rev. I don't know if you've heard of Rev yet, but this is a Formula One racer or some kind of racer guys coming out with a token for racing, and you could buy your cars to bring them into the platform. You know all that's going on now.
Yeah, I thought it was more of market manipulation and wash trading when I saw that F1 car sell for like $1 million and it got all that attention. But I know of it. I'm just not a fan of it. Sometimes some of these things aren't always good.
The token the Rev token is something else, something different.
It might be. I hope so.
Yeah, no, it's something different.
Yeah, I saw some Formula One NFT sell whatever for like $1 million, and I'm like, it's such bullshit. Whatever though. Never heard anybody else talk about it since that day, but it got so much press. You know what? I would love to see. A way where I could play a video game that uses, EndPop music as the theme for the video game, and if I find the Easter egg in that game while just playing, I get a fucking download of like an NFT that's like a music video for the song. That's where I want to be. I think we lost EndPop. His internet froze, so I'm going to wrap things up here, guys.
Cool.
All right. Hey, thanks again, everybody. Don't forget to like and comment. Don't forget to request your $10 in USDT from Fio at Ken. If you don't have a Fio account, go to Edge Wallet, get a free Fio account, request $10 in USDT from FIO at KENN. Every 24 hours, every day somebody wins. Could be you. Thanks for joining, and as always, have a day.
Have a day, bro. Thank you, everybody. Love you, man.
There are many different ways to buy Bitcoin, but the cheapest and fastest way to buy Bitcoin with cash is with a coin flip Bitcoin ATM. Coin flip ATMs allow anyone to buy Bitcoin with the lowest fees and within just a few steps. Hi, I'm Amy, and I'm one of the hundreds of store owners who partner with CoinFlip. In this convenient store, we host a CoinFlip Bitcoin ATM. We earn passive income, more foot traffic, and we get free advertising done by the CoinFlip team. Getting the ATM was easy. We just contact the CoinFlip team at info@coinflip.tech, and they handle everything with no cost to the store owner. This includes installation, maintenance, marketing, and even 24/7 customer service. We just provide a small space within the store. To get your own CoinFlip Bitcoin ATM and join the monetary revolution, contact CoinFlip today. info@coinflip.tech, or fill out the form at request.coinflip.tech. 773-800-0106.
Whether you're brand new to cryptocurrency or an expert, Hodlit is the app for you. Are you tired of dealing with the exchanges, their unreliability, and high fees? Welcome to the new cryptocurrency standard. Hodlit is your one-stop shop for accumulating cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. This is the easiest way for you to accumulate crypto and manage it. Download the Hodlit app now. Create your profile, link one or more bank accounts, set up your dashboard, and let Hodlit do the rest. It's easy and fast. Hodlit provides multiple ways to purchase and accumulate crypto. Included are advanced automated buying features along with direct market buys. You have total control of your money and which cryptocurrencies get purchased, with options including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Tether, Ripple, among others. Use the Roundup feature to automatically purchase crypto with your spare change after making everyday purchases. Easily increase your Roundup growth by using the Boost Growth option, and boost your Roundups by either 2, 3, or 5 times. The Autopilot feature allows you to purchase crypto based on the amount and frequency you choose. Set it and forget it. Buy and sell in real time. The coins you buy are the coins you get. Hodlit holds 100% true blockchain purchases. No downtime. Super secure. Lower fees, and you get 24/7 support. Hodlit makes it easy for you to create and manage a diversified cryptocurrency portfolio. Look forward to future enhancements coming soon, as well as additional cryptocurrency options. Download the Hodlit app today and get started now.